Okay, so in the last video and in your previous regression analysis, you had already estimated this price-dependent keeper equation using the regression function in Excel. So you received your estimated coefficient for each of the selected variable. Those coefficients are beta 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Of course, you may not include all of this variable in your estimation in the case if some of the variables are not statistically, some of the estimated coefficients are not statistically significant, or sometimes the sign of the coefficient does not make sense. So you should have something similar as this, but you probably do not have all of the estimated variables, all of the estimated coefficient in your equation. You should also have an estimated constant term. That's your estimated intercept. That is your alpha. So with the information of the estimated coefficient and your constant term, we are able to forecast the average price of your major commodity after we calculate the average of each of your variables. Okay, so let's use Excel to do the forecast of the average price of your major commodity using your estimated coefficient and your average. So let's use Excel to solve this number one, the problem number one. I call this problem number one. After we do that, we're going to move to problem number two. So let's do problem number one. We're going to go to your old Excel spreadsheet. What you do is I want you to go to your price dependent keeper equation. All I need you to do is to copy your data. So don't worry about your estimated result. What I want you to do is to copy your data. And I'm going to have you let's just open a new Excel spreadsheet. So we're just going to paste your data. So after you copy and paste your data, oh, weird, my price column does not look right. So I'm going to highlight all the numbers in this column. I'm going to click Format Cells, and then I am going to change my decimal places to 0. So that will look much better. Okay, so my next step is to calculate the average of each of my selected variables. So I call it average column. So what I do is I type equal, I put average, and I click left parenthesis. I'm going to include all the number in my parenthesis, not include the title of this column, and then I'm going to put a right parenthesis. So just let's go back to this number. It's going to be equal to average left parenthesis, all the numbers in this column, right parenthesis, and then I'm going to click enter. So that will provide me the average of my first column. It's not convenient because of the Excel is very big. I'm not able to see my titles. So what I do is I'm going to copy my titles from here. I'm going to copy my titles. Let's just highlight them, right click, click copy, and then we are going to highlight here, right click, and click paste. So I have pasted my name of each of the column to this lower part of the table, so I can see the numbers. I can see the name of each of the variable, of each of the average in a better way. So after I've done my first average, I'm just going to drag it to fill the rest of the line. So now I have received the average for my real price of my major commodity, the average of per capita consumption, real price of my per capita consumption of my first substitute, second, third, and real per capita income. So now I got my average. So to solve that first question, I'm going to call this price forecast. For the average price of your commodity. Okay, so I'm going to focus the price for the average price of your commodity, and you already calculate the average price of your commodity. Okay, so how do I forecast the average price of your commodity? So my step one is to run the regression again. So let's run the regression. And the steps to run the regression is an old friend. So what we do is we go click data, we click data analysis, we click regression, we click OK, and then we are going to select our Y variable that would include all the numbers in my real price column. Do not include the calculated average, only the raw data. And for my input X range, I am going to include all the X variables. And I want my output range to be right in here. And then I am going to click OK. So here we got our estimated our summary output, and then like what we have been doing, we are going to find out if the model is valid. So we're going to highlight the R-square, the F, and the significance of F. I have an R-square less than 80%, an F that is less than 5, and the significance of F that is less than a lot lower than 10%. So my significance of F tells me that my model is valid, so I can go ahead and look at my estimated coefficient. So let's highlight the T and P value. And in here, we have the absolute value of T is bigger than 2, and our P value is a lot smaller than 10%. So our per capita consumption of chicken variable is statistically significant. And now let's look at the sign of this variable is negative. That indicates a negative sloping demand curve. For our per capita consumption of pork variable, we have a small t and a big P value. For the turkey variable, we have a small t, a big P, and for the per capita consumption of beef, again, we have a small t and a big P value. So these three substitutable products are not significant in a statistical way. Let's look at our real per capita income variable. we have a t that is bigger than 2 and also a p-value that is a lot smaller than 10%. So let's highlight this variable. So based on our estimation, we're going to finalize our model by only include the significant variables. Plus, if you look at the sign of this real per capita income variable, it is small and it is positive. So those are all good. So in the next step, we're going to go to data, go to data analysis. Okay, I think I forgot to do something before I move to that step. What I need to do is to click insert so I can move my real PCY next to my real real price of chicken. So that will allow me to select the column. So I'm going to go to data, I'm going to go to data analysis, click regression, click OK. And the next step, I am going to pick my real price of chicken column, include all the data in here. And in my X range, I'm going to include my real per capita income and the per capita consumption of chicken. Include these two columns. And then in my output range, I'm going to pick this box and I'm going to click OK. So this is our new output. Again, we check the R, check the F, check the significance of F, and from the high F value, which is bigger than 5, we can conclude our estimation is valid. And now let's look at our estimated coefficient by look at the T and the P value. And we found out the absolute value of t are bigger than 2 and the p-value are smaller than 10%. So these two variables, which is the per capita real income and the per capita consumption of chicken, those are two significant variables in the explanation of the change of real price. So that is our finalized model. I'm going to use this finalized model to forecast the price for the average price of your major commodity. So this is the steps. I'm going to click equal, and then I'm going to pick this intercept, which is your alpha in your equation. I'm going to click plus the estimated coefficient for the real per capita income times the average of my real per capita income, which is right here, that's my average, plus my per capita consumption of chicken coefficient times my average per capita consumption of chicken. So again, I had my intercept plus my estimated coefficient for the real per capita income times the average of real per capita income plus the estimated coefficient for the per capita consumption of chicken times the average per capita consumption of chicken. And I'm going to click enter. So I have calculated I have forecasted the real price, the average price of my major commodity, which is about 1.36. And if you look at this estimated, this calculated average, this number is very similar, but if I improve the decimal places, you can see that these two numbers are the same. Thank you.